hello there, YouTubers, and how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. So, before I get started, I ask that you please subscribe, leave a like, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell. Okay, I think I got them all. Alrighty, so I have several topics, and I don't think I need to make a separate video for each one, but we're gonna see how far this goes. So my first tight subject is the stupid man, Officer Tatum again. So he made a video a few days ago, and I wasn't able to get to it because I was in the middle of doing some stuff. But I made sure I wrote it down and some comments about it so I could respond to it. So he brought up George Floyd again because they saw the new angle from the video. And this fool, still, even looking at the other angle from the camera, from the police cam, he still make a determine that George Floyd was in the wrong. Now, it does mention that George Floyd wanted to lay down, but to me, Tatum turns it around like lay down and get on top of me and kill me. The man said he felt better laying down. Now, who knows? He might have been playing a dozen. He might have been, you know, trying to get out of something. But yet and still, when the police came to his car, he already had his taser out. That's a violation right there, isn't it, Tatum? The man posed no credible threat. So, what would you say about that, Mr. Tatum? He asked to be laid down on the ground. He didn't ask to die, Mr. Tatum. So, but I still see you turned it around and made it his fault. Because, you want to bring up the fact he had drugs in the system. So what, he had drugs in the system? That don't make him more susceptible to die because he had drugs in the system. And what was the other stupid stuff you said? Hold on, folks. I have to put my glasses on for this one. He was saying that he was playing to the camera. Since he knew he was on, I guess he figured since he knew he was on body cam, he was playing to the camera. To I guess if it came back up in some kind of way in court, it'd be sympathy in that case or something like that, And the other one is drugs in system. So I just talked about that. So like I said before, so what? This man had drugs in the system. Who are you? Everybody got something in their system. You may have drugs in your system. Who knows? Because some of the videos that you present, they just be stupid. I see why you always jump to this one. And then you had the nerve say you had doubts. What you got doubts about? You still made the same conclusion that you made out of every other video that you had. You had the same conclusion. That he killed himself. Right? Isn't that what you're saying? He basically killed himself while they were softly kneeling on him. And since the drugs was in his system, he just passed on away because the drugs, combined with him being a little nervous and having some type of episode, You keep saying that the police, he wouldn't get in the police car, but he was in the police car and he had the attack, the panic attack. And it seemed like the police, to me, was using abuse. I don't think all of it has still been released. I just think certain parts have been released to show the people. But with anybody with any common sense can see that the police was in the wrong. It's amazing why you don't see it, Mr. Tatum. And so my other one is the mayor of California, which I think is a complete idiot. He's going to tell people if they got too many people at their house, he gonna shut off their water and their lights. See what happens when you give all them people your power, man? See, people? See? This man gonna stop you from living because you won't go by some stupid, unlawful ordinance that they created in the first place. So I bet you all you Californians ain't gonna do nothing, all right? You're not gonna say anything, are you? You're going to sit there in your mansions and hope that you have a nice quiet party and wear your mask and don't make the Beverly Hills policeman too mad at you because he might be too nice. The niceness alone will embarrass you. Y'all need to give me a break. Your mayor and your governor are totally buffoons. Why would you try to impose that on a population as big as California, as big as Los Angeles by itself? It's just lunacy. It's stupidity to the fifth degree. If people want to party and so-called catch corona, ain't that their business? Oh, but yeah, they may come and bring it to other people. I keep telling you folks, you can't give it to anybody because you already got it in your system. And if you do get it, you can easily fight it. I believe back in January I had it. Excuse me, because I was working, and the day after, the night I got off work, the next day I had chills. Then I never had a fever though, but I lost my voice, and I had coughing up a lot of phlegm, and I couldn't stop my nose from running. You know, but I never had no short of breath, and had to be put on no respirator, ventilator, or whatever you call them things these days. So I never uh, experienced some of the things I experienced. But I think, because like I told you, I think that the virus was out even before January, because the way I caught that, and I think people had already caught it. I think it had already been through a lot of people. But to go back to what I said, I think that when I caught it, it had already been out for a long time. I would say at least maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks. You know, stuff keep popping up on my screen. I don't know what this stuff be, and I believe that I had it, and I believe I gave it to my wife because she came down with the same symptoms. And I was down for like maybe 10 days. I was down, but I was taking. I'm not gonna recommend anything to anybody because YouTube they have a crying fit, but I was taking natural stuff, okay, to help me fight it. And like I said, in about 10 days, if there was corona, it could have just been a 24-hour virus. I mean, not 24-hour virus, but it could have just been some type of virus. But if it was corona, if it was corona, which I believe it was, I was able to get rid of it, and I didn't have too much discomfort. I did have the joint pain. I have to admit, I had the joint pain, but only in the mornings. Like when I go to bed and wake up, I would wake up with the joint pains. But after I got moving, I had no joint pains. But the coughing and the phlegm and the runny nose was constant. It was constant. You know, but to me, for a mayor, to set those kind of in draconian uh, rules on people is just truly disgusting. They fail to forget that we vote those people in the office. We vote you in there. It's not like you walk up through there because you the son of the prince or the king or somebody. We vote you in there, but we don't vote you in there to take these drastic measures, draconian. That's what I want to say. These draconian what I gonna say, draconian measures. I'm sorry, to get people to do what you want them to do. Those people were off into a party by themselves, man. I did hear about the one in Los Angeles that the girl got shot and killed. That's very unfortunate. I don't know what was going on with them people over there. Somebody was crazy in the first place. You know, but to threaten to turn off their water and their lights, you one of a kind, man. And I hope they vote your dumb ass out too, because you need to be voted out. I'm pretty sure there are people that's going to agree with what you're doing because they scared like you. You know, but if you're like me and don't live your life in fear of something happening to you, because what's going to happen, whether you see it coming or not. You know, it, usually there's no way you can stop it. But to get back to that's really silly and it's stupid. And you people in Los Angeles should do something about it. So my third one was, of course, my favorite, Miss Candace Owens, and she was on the Raymond Ackroyd show. Okay, this is not really directed at her as much as it is directed at Mr. Aykroyd. Mr. Aykroyd, I don't know that much about you. I started doing a little research on your show after I saw her, and I see it's a religious based show. But if you're going to have people on your show, don't bait them. Don't bait them to get the answers that you want to get because you got this crowd of evangelicals or Christians or whatever they are, you know, to fit their narrative, to fit your narrative on the answers on the questions that you gave Candace. If anybody was really paying attention, the questions that you gave her were just, they wasn't soft. They were softball questions, but they were questions that led into her giving the answers that she gave. That's always the same thing. Like for instance, it was the role of black people, the role of the black church. That's what it was. The role of the black church. I have my glasses on. Now he throws her this softball question about the role of the black church, the black church has control over the black community, and she answers the question just like a buffoon would, you know, and goes back and brings up the times of Martin Luther King. Okay, we don't live in those times anymore. Those times are gone. Yeah, they were very romantic, I guess, at the time when he was alive, or in his memory some years after. But excuse me. But now we don't live in those times now. We live in a desperate time, and even though some people may consider that was a desperate time, but this is more desperate. This is more. So Candace, and to try to uh, for you, Mr. Ackroyd, to try to get the answers of stability for our people from her, it just never ceased to amaze me that you people stoop to the bottom of the barrel to ask people like that a question that don't have no interest in our people. Maybe she has interest in your conservative ways and the conservative thinking that you do, but she don't have no interest to us, and she don't reflect us. And just because she's well spoken, see, that's where you guys like that, you know, you milkmaids, just because she speaks good and seems to have some level of intelligence, you cater to the crap that she say. And I'm going to call you a fool, Mr. Ackroyd, because you should be able to see through her. But I guess through your religious ways, if you want to put it, you know, you can't see the devil in sheep clothing. Or maybe you just one yourself. Because not to see through that type of person either makes you naive or a fool. So which one is it, Mr. Ackroyd? I tend to think the latter. I already had my statement on her. She's going to do anything she can, to try to slap black people into reality, her version of reality. And it ain't even real. Because she don't identify with our people. The only thing she can keep doing is throwing around, black on black violence. And she's still wrong about that. Because she too stupid to see the forest for the trees. And you mean to tell me you are too? You look like an intelligent man, but I guess you're not. It's a shame that you uh, so-called Christians or evangelicals or whatever you calling yourself today, whatever religious acronym you want to go by. It's just a shame that you swallow up, you know, the words from a demon. Because in my book and in a lot of others, that's exactly what she is. It's got nothing to do with her being conservative or whatever she claims to be. Because we all have conservative. See, this is. Now I'm gonna skip to the people for you people all of a sudden. We all have conservative ways and liberal ways. And democratic ways. We all have them. We all have them. Some like they always say, lean to the left, some lean to the right, some are more, central, but we all have conservative thoughts and ways, and we all have liberal thoughts and ways. And the fact that you let these people split the two like they are separate, because it's really just one thing. And it's been split into two categories where you have to sit on one side of the aisle or sit on the other side of the aisle. And that's the game that they present to the people when they play. But those of us that's got common sense, we know that it's all about divide and conquer. It's always a chess game between the Republicans and the Democrats, always. So when you get people like Candace and Mr. Ackroyd, you know, that sits around and give her leading questions on to answer because he don't want people to give him the real truth. You know, he's just another racist that wants to hear a racist bring down the black people. But they act so concerned, but they're not. They're really not, and they always trying to bash Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter has taken on so many tentacles, but they continue to cram it all into just one thing. And if you really pay attention, folks, you'll see that it's different things. Each arm of the Black Lives Matter is different. You know, most of them are white, to be honest with you, and the most violent. The ones that are mostly black are non-violent. But they push them all in together because they all, stand behind Black Lives Matter. And the meaning of Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with the banner of Black Lives Matter because that's two different things too. But they have all the conservatives and the racists, have jammed it all into one thing so to make you think it's coming apart. And in certain parts of it is coming apart. You know, there is corruption. There is people doing violent things that call themselves and represent Black Lives Matter, but they're usually not black. And in the beginning, with Black Lives Matter and the looting went on and all that, yeah, a lot of them were black, but I mean, like I say, they level other colors too. But mostly in the black community, they were black people. Well, that's no dispute. Okay, but if you look at the movement today, especially after the George Floyd incident, and some others, you can see that it's been hijacked by other people, and the black folks is just holding on now to still try to get their word across because now, the liberals and Antifa and like I say, and racists. I just saw an article the other day that these people was posing for Black Lives Matter representatives, marching, and they were neo Nazis. Like I see, so yeah, it's been corrupted. But for people like her to sit up and call the whole thing a bad thing, it should tell you folks that she is a backstabber. And for people like him, Mr. Ackroyd, that would have a show that even includes her in his thoughts about what black people should do, makes him a racist too. Because neither one of them are concerned about you as black people. They just want to get you under control because you're starting to scare us. And we don't need that. Black folks are starting to scare us now. And you got the UTs, that's what I'm going to call them, the UTs on the other side, you know, trying to make the white people feel better. Because they're riddled with guilt. They're riddled with it, you know. And nobody wants to tell them that we know that you're riddled with guilt. And you just think everybody that's black gonna take it out on you, even though you had nothing personally to do with it. Just the fact that you white and your ancestors was white. See, that's the level of thinking they think we think because they think that way. Understand what I'm saying? They know the majority of black people are peace-loving people, well, law-abiding people, you know. And yes, we have that element in our people, but every race has that element. But ours is focused on more because you know why? It creates more havoc. Okay, people want to write laws around it, create legislation and build up policemen and jails, you know, to combat this issue. And really, it's all about they're afraid. So it you have people like Candace that want to tell you, don't be afraid of us, especially not the kind like me, the kind that would lick your butthole if you just been over. But the majority of us is not like that. Candace and Mr. Ackroyd, we stand up for what we feel is right. And even though it's unorthodox and you don't like it, don't give you a right to speak on it. You or her, even though she's black, she feels she has a right to speak on it, but she don't, because she's not standing with the people and understanding the people, and you're not either. So don't try to blame the church. Don't try to blame Black Lives Matter. Blame your bigotry and your hatred for our people, because I can see right through you like I can see right through her. You don't more give a damn about black people than she do. So come off of that. And I hope that this video could reach you, but it probably won't reach people like you. But maybe somebody will whisper it in your ear. That is somebody out here that can see through your BS and hers, and gonna call you out if I ever see you again on this on YouTube, which I've been researching you and I have seen you, you know. But up until this point, yeah, I had nothing really to say on some of the videos I saw. I didn't see all of them. I watched a few, and I don't really have a problem with most of it. But this one, when you brought her on there, it was an instant problem, because you don't need to give her any validity, any value, until you talk to people that's really is in the struggle and really out there surviving and really out there doing something about it. Because she not, and her opinion don't mean a damn to the everyday black person. So with that, folks, I guess that's the end of my rant on that one. You know, it ticks me off to see this stuff. You know, you get these just because they think they preachers or reverends or whatever lie they telling the people. You know, they think they have the right to question somebody black on the black society. Who the hell they think they are? You know, if you want to find out what's going on in black society, go out there and ask the people. But they're too afraid to, and so they go to people like that, like her. You know, the wolf in sheep clothing, to get answers. And what she do? She makes them happy with all the BS that she spouts out. Somebody got to call people like that out and call them out every time they do it. No matter what show she go on, anytime she talk the crap that she talk, I'm gonna have a comment about it. So until then, people, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. You know, like, share, leave a comment, hit the bell. See, I did that fast that time. And until the next video, God bless. Bye bye.